Hi everyone, the purpose of this epilogue is to see how well I did on my pattern. I'm going to fit it to the dummy that I used for the measurements. And the first thing I did was take these two pieces, the front and back of the pattern, put them front to back, and put a piece of tape on the outside. Kind of like a poor man's seam here, you can see. So I've got that. Now normally if you were doing a garment, you would have what's known as a seam allowance, so that you could, usually on the inside of the garment, so you could sew it together. But since this is a body block or a sloper pattern, it has no seam allowances, but that's okay. We'll use a good old tape and see if we can fit it to the body. So let's begin. So because I have this hard dummy that can't put pins in, I'm going to use my good old reliable Gorilla tape. So I'm all ready. Moving from seam to seam, doing pretty good. Okay, this is the bodice part, right? So right here, I'm just going to put a little piece of tape to hold that together. I'm going to put my big old head in the way, probably. And so far, it looks like we're wrapping pretty good, if I do say so myself. Let's go ahead. Remember I said that these are going to be overlapped. They're going to go a little bit off this form, which is fine. You can see, and I'll put a piece of tape here. Now, you can see it doesn't go all the way in the back, so if I were to redo this, if I was doing this fitting, it looks pretty good down here. I would probably add a little bit of an extension, so they would come together. But for first fitting, for a novice such as myself, I'm not going to cry too much about it. Whoop. Came loose. Okay. There we go. So I would say this needs to open up a little bit, so I would do that. I would cut this open so it's a little bit more of an oval. I can see that now. What I should have done on the back is just open it up a little bit more. That's usually what you do when you see these things. If this were a modern dress, we would probably put some darts in right here to make this more fitted. But this is medieval dress. I got to get my tape measure. So what they're going to do, the person wearing this is going to gather this with a belt or rope at the waist, and this will blouse out a little bit. It's hard to do with paper, with craft paper, but you can start to see the idea where you can get more of a kind of fitted gown. Now, when I do the other side, we do have this little curve we talked about. It should match up okay once we put them all together. But that's not the assignment. The assignment is to get these two halves and maybe a sleeve for me. I can't really drape the sleeve, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. I want to take this as a victory, and you should too. So thank you and good luck.